anybody here from the Carl Dorsey family? Is anyone here from the Rodwell Spivey? All right. Rodwell Spivey family, is that Jackie? Is that you? But you can't speak. Can you speak? This is Jaquil Rodwell. He's one of the Rodwell Spivey brothers. Give him a big hand. They fight the court case. Listen. Their case is coming up on April the 12th. We want everybody to fill the courtroom. Oh, there you are. This is mother. This is Monique Rodwell.
You know me?
That's her son.
Who am I?
Two other brothers.
Marcella. I just was listening to your messages earlier.
Sorry.
No, don't worry about it. I was mad I didn't call you back. I should call you back. That's not my phone.
I didn't mean to make you mad, but you know.
I wasn't mad.
But you
I
know,
wasn't mad. I wasn't mad.
I do a lot of things around the house. I do a lot of things, you know, in general. You don't know what all I do. You know, I have an apartment, but it's a lot of stuff to do in the apartment. It's a lot of stuff to do in the apartment. I don't just sit around all day, play video games, you know. I do have to sometimes do that. I do have to sometimes have to do that. But it's a lot of stuff to do around the house.
Free Justin! Free Justin! Free Justin!
Free justice!
Free Justin!
Free justice!
Is anybody here from the family of Carl Dorsey? Is Medina here? Is Medina here? I just wanted to highlight the issue of police brutality because despite what people think, it has not gone away. And we got victims here in New Jersey. And I could not assemble people to observe the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, who himself was a victim of police brutality many times, and not recognize the victims of police brutality in our own midst. Are you ready to march? Yeah. Are you ready to march?
Yeah.
Are you ready to march?
Yeah.
I have to exercise some executive authority here, but this brother is 90 years old. He marched all the way with me when members of POP and National Action Network, Steve Young, we marched 67 miles from Montclair to Trenton to demand a police review board with subpoena power. That's what we want. We've been fighting for it for 60 years. And they trying to block it. They trying to stop it. But this brother here is over 90 years old, and he marched with us to Trenton. Reverend Herbert Daughtry, come on and say something, Daughtry. Reverend Daughtry, come on and say something.
I'm just delighted to be here. You know, when you get 91 years old, every time you take a step, you're glad. But anytime Larry Ham, who's an old friend, going back many years, his credibility there, his credibility can match his credibility across the years. And to all of the people,
Do I need to turn this off?
progress, I'm just glad to be here. And continue this fight. Dr. King, I was saying the other night, when he spoke at Riverside Church, 1967, I was there when he spoke. And in fact, we had been in Washington earlier that year, in February of that year, and had set in and demanded to end the war in Vietnam. And so in April, came to Riverside Church. I happened to have been there at that time. And a year later, as you know, he was gone. But we wanted to be out here because this is where he would have been. Yeah, his days were spent mostly in the street, challenging people up and down the streets.
That's right.
So all of you who are here tonight, you young people who are here this thing, you're here for a great cause, historic cause, and God bless you. And you see if you can keep up with it.
Are you ready to march? march. We getting ready to go. I just want to recognize, because they're going to speak when we come back, I want to recognize Assemblyman Payne. President of the Newark City Council, Louis Quintana, is here. I saw Bob Russo from the Montclair. My sister is here. I see her this time. Reva, you're going to be the first speaker when we get back. Oh, she got to speak now. Because the kids from Camden, they got to go. We want them to march before they leave. This is Reva Foster from New Jersey Black Issues Convention.
Yes, I had to speak right now while the spirit was moving.
That's
me.
right.
You know what I was thinking all day long? We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
That's right.
And that we're still fighting for everything that they fought for to come from England to here, and we're fighting for it, and we're already here. Now, you know, qualified immunity is one of the major things we need to look at, because qualified immunity allows any police officer to get off with anything. So even if we take them to court and they're found guilty, after that they have to let them go, because qualified immunity allows them that. So, Mr. Ham, I'm going to ask you, let's fight for qualified immunity and take that off the federal
That's
books
right.
and take it off the state books, so we can send them to jail for as long as they need to be in jail for doing whatever they did in the street. So thank you very much. I had to speak now, because I'm from Willingboro, exit 5 on the turnpike.
She disappeared. No, really. We got to go. I want the kids from Camden to march with us. You can recognize Dr. Adekoya from Nigeria is here. Give him a big hand. He's going to speak when we get back. When we get back. Listen, where's the Martin Luther King sign? It's already up front. All right, all right, we're going to march 2 by 2. Everybody should be behind the Dr. King banner. There's some more banners here. They all got them. We got more banners in the car. We going to take the rest of the banners, or we ain't got time? All right. Listen. 2 by 2. 2 by 2. Everybody line up. You see where the light pole is with the 2 yellow crosswalk? That's where we're lining up from. So Larry, you got to get down there. Zaid, you got to get down there. Get people in order. That is Steve. Oh, man. All right. Thank you. This is one of the original founding members of the People's Organization for Progress, right here, Ed Steve. Ed Steve, him and his wife, his former wife, the now deceased wife. Right. All right. Leroy, we're going to get you at the federal building. All right? All right, you going to go to the federal building? Okay. Yeah, we ready to go. All right, everybody line up. Let's go. Somebody help me with this. This is my daughter. How you doing? Yes, glad to meet you. I saw your picture in the paper.
You know, you Russian.
All right, let's get lined up. Who's going to stay here? Ingrid, are you staying here? Lorraine, watch the equipment, please.
I can't believe everything is black. It's not English. Show you the history. I mean, you got I'll take
All right.
Nice.
let me no, you I wanted
You probably got a better phone. That's an Android. Yeah. My girlfriend swears by it.
Yeah, I know.
I did. Make sure it's okay.
Yeah, so he
You're welcome.
So did Steve. See?
So did I.
I know. Good, bro. What you No, you in the. Where you live?
Morris County.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got something? Okay.
Dorothy, you want to get a picture?
I'm tired of this.
Okay, there we go.
I need somebody to carry one of these speakers. Carry with them.
I know I look crazy because I take terrible pictures.
You got it?
I got it. I need someone to carry that one.
Yeah, we
Carry that one.
got it.
I got it. No, you can't.
Yeah.
That's heavy. Okay, son, you speak when we get back. And Zelly, I saw Zelly, and I see you speak when we get back. Yes, when we get back.
Yeah, I know.
Late. I was 42. I would say me in front of the locker.
Oh, there's somebody else got it.
Yep.
You just gotta read the form yourself. It's like you gotta. It's a real
Like that one day.
You don't see how you... Alright, I think I got everybody.
Martin Luther King. Dare to struggle. Martin Luther King.
How you
Dare
doing?
to struggle.
Yeah, I was gonna try to carry the speaker, but somebody got it.
line, please.
Inside the bag.
Martin Luther King. 2 by 2, y'all. Y'all doing 10 by 10. 2 by 2. So we can stretch it out. 2 by 2. Come on, try it. Do your best. 2 by 2.
Want me to carry
How you doing? No, just walk. And film. Do what you're doing. 2 by 2. Y'all getting worse. 16 by 16. Martin Luther King. Dare to struggle. 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 Martin Luther King. King. Dare to struggle. Martin Luther 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 King. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. 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 No peace. No justice. 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 No peace. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. No justice. No peace. 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 No peace. No justice. No peace. No peace. No justice. No peace. Ain't gonna be no justice. No peace. Ain't gonna be no justice. Ain't gonna be no peace. Ain't gonna be no peace. Ain't gonna be no justice. Ain't gonna be no peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Justice. When do we want it? Now. Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. No justice. No peace. 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 No peace. No justice. No peace. 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 No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. When do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we
Sorry.
his name? What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? Free Justin! 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 No justice! No peace! 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 If there ain't gonna be no justice, if there ain't gonna be no justice, if there ain't gonna be no peace, if there ain't gonna be no justice, if there ain't gonna be no peace, if there ain't gonna be no justice, if there ain't gonna be no peace. What's his name? What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now! No justice! No peace! No peace! No peace! No peace! There ain't gonna be no peace! There ain't gonna be no peace!
It ain't gonna be no peace. It ain't gonna be no peace.
No justice!
No peace. That wicked ass police. That wicked ass police.
No peace!
No peace. Justice. Now. Justice. Now. Justice.
When do we want it?
Yeah.
When do we want it?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
When do we want it?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
So what happened is that the fact that the kid was trying to use it
Now.
as Texas, he thought that
Justice. Now. 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 Excuse me, baby. Excuse me.
What's the problem? Swing around. Swing to the left. You don't care where you go. Just as long as you chance when you get there.
Come on, Brick City. Come on, Brick City. Walk with us.
Get in order now. Martin Luther King. Those three. Y'all got everybody fall behind them.
Get over here. Come in here, Melanie. Camden, come on in. Come in here. Come in here. Camden, come in here. Yasir, Liana. Come in here. All right, there we go. Right there. That's good.
Oh, come on. Y'all can take pictures up there. Come on. Amina, take control.
Fight back.
We say fight back. We say
Fight
fight back.
back.
We say fight back. We say fight back. We say
Fight back.
We say
Fight back.
We say
Fight back.
We say
Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back. Fight back.
Ever known in modern history, Martin Luther King was assassinated. He did not die in natural death. He did not die in his sleep. He did not die from disease. He did not die from old age. He did not die from a heart attack. He did not die from cancer. He was assassinated. Why was Martin Luther King assassinated? Because he was trying to build a movement to transform this country. He was trying to build a movement to make this a world where everybody could have what they need for human development, where everybody could have a job at a living wage, where every person could have free health care, where every child could have quality education, where children could go to college for free like in other countries. That's what Dr. King was killed for. He was killed because he was increasingly anti-imperialist. He opposed the war in Vietnam. And when he opposed the war in Vietnam, he became public enemy number one. And they put a target on his back. He was marked for assassination. And they killed Dr. King because he was trying to build a poor people's movement. You read his book, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community? And Dr. King said he wanted to bring 1 million people to Washington, D.C. This is what he said. He said, I want to bring the Negroes from the ghettos, the Latinos from the barrios, the Native Americans from the reservations, and the poor whites from Appalachia. And they were going to go to Washington, not to sing We Shall Overcome. They were going to Washington to shut it down. Shut it down until Congress passed an economic Bill of Rights. And here we are today, 54 years since his assassination, and we're still fighting for the things that he was fighting for. Because able to pick up the banner of Dr. King. Dr. King may be gone, but we are here to fight on. Shut it down. 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 Shut it down.
Ambulance, y'all, move on. Move on, move it. Ambulance, move it. Spirits.
Struggle! Big black hair. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Damn Africa. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Damn Africa. Big black hair. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Damn Africa. Big black hair. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Damn Africa. Big black hair. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Amina Baraka. Big black hair. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Amina Baraka. Dare the struggle. Dare to win. Amina Baraka. Dare the struggle. Amina Baraka. Dare the struggle. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? Damn, y'all look good. When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? No justice. 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 If there ain't gonna be no justice. If there ain't gonna be no justice. There ain't gonna be no justice. There ain't gonna be no peace. If there ain't gonna be no justice. There ain't gonna be no peace. No justice. No justice. No justice. No racist. No justice. No racist. Now y'all gonna keep going. Don't stop at Lincoln. Keep going. We're going up to Martin Luther King Boulevard and make a right. I need a few people to break off from the line and get the equipment. Not the good equipment. That's Steve. Leave that there. Get the stuff that look like it don't work and bring that. That's mine. Well, I should say it's Pops. I didn't buy it. Somebody, keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. We're going just one block to Martin Luther King Boulevard. Keep going. That's right. We're going to Dr. King now. We done left slavery. now we're going to civil rights. Ain't gonna let nobody. Ain't gonna let nobody. Ain't gonna let nobody. Ain't gonna let nobody. Turn us around. Ain't gonna let nobody. Turn us around. I need a few people to break off and get the equipment and bring it. Only need like 4 or 5 people. That's all. And bring it. Well, we might not need to. But we don't want to leave other people back here. We want them to come up with us. So, Steve, you might have to get your stuff. Because we're not coming back to Lincoln. Oh, Steve is already up there. Okay. All right. I did. I told him. They're picking it up. Okay. Right. Okay. All right. What's the hold up now? Somebody pay?
These are going up, right? I don't know. I don't think so. We're just going to use them? Yeah. You put these in your car? Yeah. I'm going to which car, Steve? Over there? This ain't going over there.
So people just leave their stuff like
I need help with something. I need help. Hey, I need help.
I think we're good. We got this.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, how you doing?
All right.
Yeah, I'm hitting the march.
Huh?
I got this thing on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna finish up right
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, I'm going over there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, how you doing? Yeah, I'm just I'm trying to get the film you in the video and get the mark. Yeah, yeah, thank you. I just want to get a few seconds. Okay, about 22. Okay, okay. Got it. It's gonna be on YouTube. All right. Man. Oh, oh.
I don't get that. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Liberation activists from Trenton, New Jersey.
Okay, so now.
How you doing?
All right, how you doing?
Power to the people. We have been struggling with our voting rights since 1870. That's 152 years. We have been struggling with democracy since 1865. We cannot let our ancestors down. We must stay in their legacy. Martin Luther King's death cannot be in vain. Selma cannot be in vain. The work of Stacey Abrams cannot be in vain. We have an obligation to hold these people accountable. And when they don't do what the people want, we must vote them out. And we must always, always be true to power. Power to the people.
Somebody take that banner from her. She said her hands hurt. I want to call our sister organization from New York City. You heard about them, you read about them, you see them on TV, you read about them in the newspaper, you hear about them on the radio. They've been out here fighting. POP tries to be like this group. This group is called the December 12th Movement. Give him a big hand. December 12th.
Oh, he knows.
On the Wally.
Yeah.
On the Wally Clay.
I'll get a little closer. I'm
Black Power.
away.
Black
Yeah.
people. Because black people need black power. It's 35 years ago on the streets of Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, we created the slogan, no justice, no peace. And it was created because it is a simple fact. If there's no justice, there cannot be any peace. So December 12th came to Newark to see Pop, because Pop comes to the streets of Bed-Stuy to see about December 12th. And when we say December 12th and Pop, we're talking about the people. We only reflect the people. And one of the things Martin Luther King wanted us to understand is the economy. It's the economy.
That's right.
It's the economy. If the economy is not in our hands, then the politics will not be in our hands. If we don't destroy this monster, then we will be up under it forever. Death to capitalism.
Right on.
Death to imperialism.
Right on.
Death to racism.
Right on.
Free all political prisoners.
Free them all.
Because they political prisoners because they were righteous. I remember you, Amiri. We remember you, Amiri. Black power, straight ahead. Give him a big hand.
Right on. Right on.
Now this is the way we're going to do it. Everybody that wants to, not everybody, each organization, listen, each organization that endorsed this event can have one speaker. And because there's so many organizations, we can't do like we normally do. We let anybody who want to speak, speak. There's like so many organizations. 139 organizations endorsed this event. Now, the only way we're going to get out of here before 10 o'clock is if each person take 3 minutes. So you got to get right to the point. This is not going to be your great oratorical delivery tonight. You got to get right to the point. If I can't make no long speech, you can't make no long speech. But I'm not going to do like people have done in the past. I'm not going to keep the youth to last. I'm going to bring the youth, some of the youth up now and bring them up as we go along. Right now, I want to bring up Zelly Thomas from Black Lives Matter, and I want Kason Little to come with him. They can take each one after another. Where's Kason?
You right behind me.
Oh, right behind me. Where's Zelly?
Right behind you.
There he is. Give these brothers a hand. This Black Lives Matter, New Jersey. When I say Black Lives, you say matter. Black Lives. Black Lives. When I say Black Lives, you say matter. Black Lives. Black Lives. When I say Black Lives, you say matter. Black Lives. Black Lives. Black Lives. Black Lives. My name is Zelly Imani. I'm from Black Lives Matter Patterson. I want to be real quick. The word that I want off your tongue today and every day after here is the word reform. We don't want to reform nothing. We want to abolish. We want to abolish racism. We want to dismantle this wicked system that is oppressing us and been killing us since the first African set foot on this land. They've been pushing us out of schools, pushing us into prisons, and pushing us into the graveyards. But we're not going to take no more. We're going to push back. We're going to push back with love. We're going to push back with solidarity. And we're going to push back through organization. We're not going to be unorganized.
Right on.
We're going to continue to organize because that's how we win. This is not a movement of hate. This is a movement of love. Because you love black people so much. You love black people so much. Do you love black people? Do you love black people? Say, I love black people. Say, I love black people. Say, I know that we will win. Say, I. Say, I know. Say, I know that we will win. Say, I know that we will win. Say, I know that we will win. And power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power, cause the power of the people. Say what? Ain't no power, cause the power of the people. Say what? Ain't no power, cause the power of the people. Say what? I didn't hear y'all in the back. Say what? Say what? Say what? Peace, y'all. This is beautiful. I mean, this is beautiful. Shout out to Larry. Shout out to Pop. They've been out here way before most of our time. And I learned from giants like them that they shouldn't be out here all their lives. They got to pass it to us. And it's up to us to finish their unfinished business until the day we die. Because as long as this country want to be anti-black, we stay in the streets and we fight back. I don't know about you, but I will never, ever regret being black. I'm a proud black king, and I own it and I wear it every single day. So we must abolish all unjust systems that were designed to be inherently and intentionally racist, and that were designed to steal, kill, and destroy black people. And we're going to build tomorrows that is going to value, cherish, and accept every black girl and black boy who's growing up in our communities, and we're going to fight to abolish this unjust world. All power, much love, and shout out to Dr. Martin Luther King. Live like him. Dare to struggle, dare to win. All power. All right, brother. Y'all did it. Wonderful. Thank you. Y'all look at that truck right there. Ain't that nice? Yeah. See that truck? That's the leaflet for this march today. That brother donated his time. Give him a hand. I want to give a shout out. Our brothers and sisters came up on the bus from Atlantic City and Camden. They got to go. We don't want them to go, because they were so strong. Give them a big hand, Camden, Atlantic City. Thank you, Camden. Thank you, Atlantic City. All right, my brother.
Right on, Atlantic City.
All right. You know, love you too, brother.
Right on, y'all.
So, what I want to do, we need to get a woman up here. See, I got to mix it up. Where is Cookie Rivera? Is Cookie still here?
Yeah.
Where you at, Cookie?
Cookie!
Where you at? Now, she taking too long. Who right behind me? Who right behind me?
Hey! Okay, what I'm going to do is say we support this movement and everything the People Organization for Progress does. And I'm going to say something and you repeat after me. Larry Ham, live like him.
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 Tyrone Gatson, live like him.
Tyrone Gatson, live like him.
Stephen Young, live like him.
Stephen Young, live like him.
Zaid Muhammad, live like him.
Live like him.
Amelia Baraka, live like her.
Live like her.
I love y'all. Thank you so much. We are. Because I am. I am. Because we are. In unity there is community. In unity there is power. In unity there is us. God bless.
Thank you, Cookie. Cookie Rivera from the Latino Action Network.
Right on.
Let me say, brothers and sisters, how important it is that we have this internationalist perspective. We got to support each other. Here in Newark is a long history of alliance between black people and Puerto Ricans and Latinos. And we got to keep that alliance going, because there are people who would divide us to conquer us. And we're not going to let that happen.
That's right.
We're going to support our brothers and sisters. So right now, I want to bring forward, the NAACP has been one of our strongest supporters and the youth chapter of the NAACP is represented here today. Who is the representative from the youth chapter of the NAACP?
What's all his name? I forgot him.
All right, give him a hand. Say your name, brother, so they know.
Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Bernard. I'm here in the capacity to speak for the second for the NAACP State Conference of the Youth and College Division. I serve as second vice president and also president for the Montclair State Collegiate Chapter at Montclair State University. This is power. The assassination of Martin Luther King has been the earth-shaking event of 1968. It is among the most spontaneous years in American history. The Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, the anti-war movement are in place in the full swing as the year begun. But for King Legacy, he stands as one man of our older generation. The heroes, the revolutionary, the militants, all in an extensive archive in King's life, in his document. But for King's life, he stands for power, for the people, and establish himself in a new world. This is the power of redefining the way that's speaking to the new generation. We begin to trust in ourselves, deeply rooted within the philosophical idea of change. Through peace, change began to vibrate like no other. The revolution began to be a moment of a constant image, placing our recounting memory of Dr. Luther King, but largely to carry to a larger opportunity to be free. We must become and what emerge in front of us. First, become educators, looking at the historical and social context of the United States. We must understand the attitude, the belief, the action that leads into every valley and the hilltop in American society that becomes the power of democracy. There's no time or luxury to pause. I'm sorry. There's no time or luxury to pause for what we wish to dream of, sing of, and continue to speak of justice within the sunlight path and whose symbolic shadow we stand today. The prophet believed in his dream. Not everybody can inspire a nation with 4 words. And no words are how small or insignificant, but always more significant in meaning of Dr. King. I have a dream. In our present moment, just as an impulsive, a call of action, as King intended through his vision, the moral universe is phenomenon and more making to our justice. And for everything has been passed, and everything that has been given, for the people, that call is action is impulsive. Again, call for the legislators and our demand for the same-day voter registration. That's right. Passed in the state of New Jersey. We ask for what are those who are opposed to be afraid of. Let me tell you, our people, our society, that there's nothing that more than young black people and brown people that carry to vote and use the power to vote to empower ourselves and our community. Thank you. Give him a big hand. The last time we had a rally, this brother was the last to speak, but I ain't gonna do him like that this time. He's on the list, though. He's on the list. But we need to hear from our African brothers and sisters on the continent. Dr. Adekoya, give him a big hand.
Woo-hoo! If you're happy to be here, make some noise! We say, no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. We say no to injustice. We say no to injustice. Let me hear you. We say no to injustice. We say no to injustice. Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, it's been over 400 years that we've been on this track. All right? 1609 to now, 2022, we're not still getting it right in the United States of America. Look at what is happening in Ukraine and Russia. Look at what is happening in Haiti. Look at what is happening in Africa. But yet, United States can usher the Ukrainian, United States can usher the Syria into this country, but the Africans are not rescued. The Asians are drowned in the water. It is time that that shit must stop. That needs to stop. Justice needs to prevail. We are all created equal. Martin Luther King stand up for justice. He lived justice. He preached justice. He ate justice. He died for justice. So the time is now for every one of us to stand up tall for justice, regardless of your color, your creed, your orientation, your political affiliation. Justice must prevail. We must stand for justice. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Congratulations to all the organizations that are here. Give yourself a round of applause, because we believe that you are for justice, and we will continue to see you and support you. Never forget the motherland, Africa, the origin of humanity. Africa! Africa! We're one people on the go. Thank you, everyone.
Give him a big hand. Now listen. Hey, Dr. King.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I had an idea, but I got voted down. See, y'all think Pop is some kind of dictatorship. You're sadly mistaken. And I think I got voted down because I'm giving into spontaneity. That's the young part of me. I ain't giving it up. But I think at some point, when the weather get a little warmer, we should do an Occupy right here at the Dr. King statue.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that?
Yeah.
We should do an Occupy.
Yeah.
We should do an Occupy. And I don't mean for one day.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to come out here and stay for a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so how many would be down for that? All right. So when we give the word now, you got to help us organize it. You know, so, all right, let me call these speakers. Now, I'm going to just go down the list. But remember, everybody try to stay within 3 minutes. And I'm going to call John Brinkley from the Pioneers, one of our early endorsers. Come on, John.
John is from the Frontiers. Frontiers, which is one of the oldest black service organizations in the country. I'm also representing WBAI local station board and Justice and Unity specifically.
Where you from?
From Plainfield. From Plainfield. Let me ask you this question. How many of you knew that Martin Luther King had a younger brother?
Yep.
All right. His name was A.D. King. They had a bio on him on the Black News Channel. We need to support our black channels, the channels that provide information that we can use. A.D. King was a year younger than Martin Luther King. He went to Morehouse. He was a minister. And when Martin Luther King was assassinated, A.D. felt that something was wrong, that who they were pointing to that did it wasn't right. A.D. pressed for an investigation, and a year later, A.D. was found dead, drowned in a swimming pool. And they said he was drunk. But there are now 2 unsolved mysteries about what happened to the King brothers, Martin Luther and A.D. I'm saying this because it's important. I hadn't known about that, and I've been around for a while. I hadn't known about that, but it was on the Black News Channel. I'm representing, first of all, Justice and Unity, which is a group that is affiliated with WBAI. And I'm asking all of you to turn on 99.5 FM or listen to it, WBAI.org, because it does provide good information about what organizations, grassroots organizations are doing. Also like to represent the Plainfield Frontiers, which this Saturday, this brother over here will be giving a lecture on police reform, a rational versus a radical approach. All you got to do is go on YouTube or Facebook at 2 o'clock this Saturday and put in Plainfield Frontiers, and you will hear the lecture live. There will be an opportunity for comments and for Q&A. So I recommend that all y'all do that. In the meantime, power to the people.
Power to the people. Thank you, John. Thank you. Listen, all the organizations that endorsed, we had a pre-March town hall meeting. What was that, last Sunday? We're going to have a post-March town hall meeting on May 15th, Sunday, May 15th. Everybody write that down. Sunday, May 15th at 2 o'clock. We're going to do another town hall, and we want to try to get more organizations on board for that town hall meeting. Let me get another person up here. Where's the young girl? No, we gotta have a woman. We just had two. Okay. Yeah, I want you. I want you, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Ham. Give it up for Larry Ham, y'all. Give it up for Larry Ham. Yo, I was marching and I'm like, man, I know I got some energy, but bruh, you was in it like from the start to the end, and I'm like, I just hope and wish and pray that I have as much energy as you do. And everyone else, right? Every senior elders that been here, I appreciate y'all so much because y'all paved the way, right? Y'all been showing us how it's done, and I thank y'all so much for continuing the fight. My name is Christian Rodriguez, and I want to thank y'all so much for giving me this platform to speak. Again, my name is Christian. My pronouns are they, she, and I was born right here in Newark, New Jersey. I was born in Higher Court, so if y'all know about Higher Court, that's me as I was born and raised, living in this toxic pollution.
I see you, baby.
You know, if you're from Newark, seriously, stay up front because this message is like really for us.
Right on.
You know, we heard about voter suppression, police brutality. You know, we know that we need a civilian review board with subpoena power, right?
That's right.
To fight against racism. You know, we know that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. fought for unity, right? He built the Poor People movement, and I thank all of y'all, all of us, for being here today, right? So power to the people. I'm here to talk about another thing rooted in racism, and that's environmental racism, right?
Come on, daughter. Come on.
Did y'all know that 1 in 4 children develop asthma right here in Newark? How many of y'all got asthma here? Who lived in Newark? Who grew up in Newark?
My daughter does.
All right?
Yep.
I'm one of those. I'm one of those 1 in 4 people who developed asthma because I live here in Newark. Did you know that we have a garbage burner, right? Now, I want to say that this garbage facility, it burns trash for electricity, but did y'all know that at the same time as it's burning trash, it's actually spewing out mercury and lead? Now, we just faced, you know, a whole bunch of replacement of lead pipes here in Newark, so we're trying to combat that in our water. We're trying to fight that in our air, too, right? Did you also know that Newark has over 100 contaminated sites, meaning we can't grow anything there, right? We can't grow food there. There's a fat burning facility that emits foul odor. That we process poop right here in the city of Newark. And it's not just Newark poop, it's all of Jersey, all of Pennsylvania, all of New York. You know, that's why Newark smells, right? Because we process a lot of poop. It's a lot, he said. That's a lot. That's a lot of crap that we process here, right? And you know what? And we got 3 power plants. 3 in Newark. In this little city of Newark, we got 3 power plants. There's not that many cities in the state of in United States that have that many power plants, right? And it's all right here in the city of Newark. You know, and this very same facility who processes all this poop, You know what they want to do? They want to build another power plant in our city, right? And so why? Why is it that us, the city of North, right? Folks who are like, we're all black and brown people trying to live, trying to survive, right?
That's right.
Why? Why is it that we have to face this racism, this environmental racism, right? We don't have to do that. We can stand up and say something about it, right? So I'm asking you guys, you know, the same facility, I'm going to put the name out there because their name has to be
Put it out
mentioned.
there. Call them out.
It's Passaic Valley Sewage Facility, right? PVSC, Passaic Valley Sewage Commission. You know, they have a public hearing. That means all of y'all can attend to this public hearing on April 7th at 12. If you have time, come through.
That's right around.
Let them know we don't need another toxic pollutant facility in our neighborhood. We're tired of the racism. We're tired of police brutality. We're tired of breathing this toxic air. Hey, we just need a breathing chance, a fighting chance to just live and survive, right? That's all we're asking for, right? So if you got time, come through. Come through the meeting. That's on April 7th at 12 p.m. You can come to our Stop Dumping. What's the Paula? StopDumpingNorg.org. StopDumpingNorg.org. If you go on there, the link and to the meeting is on there as well. Call the county commissioners, Joey D. Call our very own native senator, our very own North native senator, Teresa Ruiz. Like, she seems as though she just be leaving us hanging. CCRB, not to mention, you know, and everything else that we're trying to fight, right? So call her up. Call Teresa Ruiz. You know, let her know that, you know, we're trying to fight these environmental injustices along with everything else. Y'all know we got the power in our voices, so stand up, North. Stand up, North. Please stand up. Show up. We got work to do. And don't just stop here. It keep going and going and going. Get educated. Find out what's going on in your city. Because there's stuff that's happening. There's people making moves, making changes. And y'all just got to get involved. Baba Zaid, Pop, everybody get involved. Yo, North, stand up. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. Yesterday? Now. Thank you so much. Power to the people. Blessings.
Somebody lost their credit card. Somebody lost their Josiah Major. Huh?
It's fast.
Okay. All right. Well, Josiah Major. Somebody lost their credit card. It's blue. It's a Chase.
What's the name?
It's a bank card. I said Josiah Major. Josiah Major.
I ain't got no money. I ain't got no. Hey, Ali, I like him.
All right, let's hear another speaker. Is Danielle still here? Did Danielle leave? Danielle from Surge.
Oh, I didn't even see.
Give her a hand, Surge. Danielle.
I feel like I'm on The Price is Right, but better. Hey everybody, I'm Danielle Carpita. I'm from Showing Up for Racial Justice New Jersey, SURJ. And we are a group of mostly white people and some non-black people of color that want to support black liberation and civil rights. And we do that under the direction of amazing groups like POP and in solidarity with you all. And I've been thinking a lot about love lately. And not the like Hallmark love, but the MLK kind of love. And I wanted to quote him from Where Do We Go From Here, where he says, "Love that does not satisfy justice is no love at all. It is merely a sentimental affection, little more than what one would have for a pet. Love at its best is justice concretized. Love is unconditional. It is not conditioned upon one staying in his place or watering down his demands in order to be considered respectable." So, I know the white people here don't need to hear this, but
Oh, yeah, they
all right, let me say it again. Black power, reparations now, right? Voting rights now, right? And white folks, the tension is intentional.
That's right.
Right? Like, if you love black music, if you love black artists, if you love black style, let me see you love black people. The way that black folks should be loved as humans. So that's why we're here, right? We are all here for love, and love is justice. Let's really prove that we love black folks. Thank you.
Right on. Julia Dale was killed in Sussex County, New Jersey. And his sister was here, and she's here. That's why I'm saying his name. Say his name.
Julia Dale.
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 And I want to apologize. We should have said it on the march. No, it's not. Hey, all right. We'll get it. We'll get it right. But this is his sister and his family members, and they're fighting for justice for him.
I didn't even
so
recognize you.
hear her.
I'm sorry. I'm
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so I know many people don't know what happened. So my name is Valerie Copper. This is my brother right here. Julia Dale, Major Julia Dale III. Served 42 years in the Army, fighting in wars. On July the 4th, 2021, he was having a PTSD episode. Wife called 911 for help. And what did they do? They didn't see him as a person that lived among them. They shot him 7 times in 12 seconds. Didn't ask anybody, didn't ask his wife, did you call 911? Sir, do you need any help? How can we help you? And it's just saddening to me. I have New Jersey residents right here. For 20 years they lived here. These young girls live there. They know what goes on up there. They need to be stopped. And it's not going to end until someone does something. We're still waiting to hear something about it going to grand jury. Garrett Armstrong, 6 months on the force. Stephen Needle, less than a year. No proper training to deal with anybody with mental health. Shot and killed my brother. Assassinated him within 12 seconds. I just want to thank Larry Hand for having me here. And I want to thank Rick Robinson, NAACP. He's here tonight for having my back. And I just want to thank Rachel and her friend for coming here tonight. Thank you. Justice for Julia Dale. 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 We're thinking of doing a celebration of life on April 30th. We need help. We need support for this. It's a birthday. If anyone would like to help us do the celebration of life on April 30th, please reach out to us. And my organization is Freedom Center for Joy and Justice. Thank you.
Give them a big hand. Give them a big hand. POP will help you on this April 30th. All the POP members, block out April 30th.
Okay.
We're not planning nothing for April 30th. We're going to be in Sussex County. That's Trump country. I've been up there. They don't even fly the American flag. They fly the Trump flag. No, really. I was up there. The whole road, every house had a Trump flag. Not an American flag, a Trump flag. Next, I want to call on, first of all, I'm going to call them to speak in a minute. But I want to thank all the labor that's represented here today. Give labor a big hand. Now, I know a lot of you don't exactly know what philosophy I have, but I don't believe we can build this movement without labor. We cannot build this movement that we're trying to build without labor. Dr. King was in Memphis trying to help labor to organize. The sanitation workers, most of whom were black, were on strike. And he went there to help them organize. The city wouldn't even recognize them as a union. And he went there to help them. So thank you, CWA. Thank you, RSDWU. Who else? What other labor is here? IUC. Thank you, IUC. Transit workers. Who else? Longshoremen. See, all this labor out here. And the education workers. That's right. Listen, shh. Dr. King died. My vice chairman has told me on 7/05, April the 4th. He wasn't dead immediately after he was shot. He died in the hospital, even though his jaw was missing. The bullet ripped away his jaw. He died at 7:05. It's 7:05 now. Let's have a moment of silence for Dr. Martin Luther King. Long live the memory of Martin Luther King.
Long live the memory of Martin Luther King.
I want to ask Deborah and Bruce Morgan to come up from the New Brunswick. Do you want to speak?
Let Deborah speak. We'll
All right. I meant your wife. I called Deborah and you call another woman of it, don't you?
Don't put you in.
Daryl, can you come up, Daryl? Come on up, Daryl. Bruce. Deborah, Tony, Rick, Bill. So the NAACP, the NAACP is proud to be out here with this multi-generational rally. We need the young people and the young people need us. We have to do this more often where we pull everybody together. I want to commend Larry for pulling this together. He would not let it go. Yesterday he was feeling some kind of way, but you showed up and we all showed together what collective work and responsibility and unity can look like in this struggle. Power to the people. I am Deborah Gregory, Newark NAACP. Standing with me is Daryl Jeffries, Orange Maplewood NAACP. Bruce Morgan, New Brunswick NAACP. Bill Payne, who was actually working with Dr. King, Newark NAACP. We're all in this together. Rick Robertson, Criminal Justice, who was up there with Newton, with the NAACP. So we do the work together. Together we will win. Together we will win. Together we will win. Together we will win. Together we will win.
All right. Thank you. NAACP is our close ally, our partner. You wanted to say something, Darryl?
Let's hear it for Brother Larry. He's a true force of nature. It was 54 years ago today. 54 years ago, and now 2 weeks back, I saw Martin Luther King for my first and last time when he visited my church, Union Baptist Church in Orange, New Jersey. I was about 12, 13 years old. 2 weeks later, he was gone. But, we and my family has been on the front lines of civil rights and civic affairs for a long time.
In fact, I was angry that at 8 years old, my father would not take me to the March on Washington because he feared that something would happen to us because he wasn't quite sure of how things would go. But we stand here in solidarity. Larry called me up, said, "Can we put the Oranges Maplewood on the fly?" I said, "Absolutely, without hesitation. We must stick together. We must pay tribute, pay homage to the King legacy, to the legacy of all of our foreparents who have been on the front lines of struggle for equality and justice in this nation. And we will continue to fight for that. We're in the home stretch this week for our 109th annual Oranges Maplewood Thurgood Marshall NAACP Freedom Fund Dinner, this coming Friday, the 8th, and we have Secretary Jay Johnson as our keynote speaker. And we are in the vineyards. We're all about the struggle. We're all about being solution-oriented in our approach to our civil rights advocacy. So I just want to continue to encourage all y'all to keep hitting the bricks and don't take no for an answer.
Thank you, brother. All right, give him a big hand. All right, I'm gonna call you next, Calfine, but I gotta get Our Revolution. They couldn't speak the last time. Our Revolution, give them a hand. Statewide, all the chapters of Our Revolution endorsed the march. Say your name.
My name is Matt Dragon. I'm one of the co-chairs of Our Revolution Essex, and I'm also speaking for Our Revolution New Jersey. Our Revolution came out of the Bernie Sanders presidential campaign, and we're honored to be here as co-sponsors of this march. And we're statewide, we're fighting for voting rights, fighting against the county line, and supporting the push for police accountability. So congratulations to Larry and Pop and everybody who came out tonight. Give yourselves all a round of applause for showing up and continuing in the struggle.
Thank you, Matt. I didn't know that was you. You taller. I see you I see him on the Zoom. Zoom make us all look small, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna hear from Dr. Calfani, and then I'm gonna ask all the labor people to come up together, and you can just pass the mic from each other. And then we're gonna hear from Bill Payne, who met and worked with Dr. King. Dr. Calfani from Essex County College, give him a hand.
All right. How's everybody doing tonight? We appreciate the work y'all doing, and let's give People's Organization for Progress a round of applause. Now, I was at the meeting when we first talked about this, and I said we should push it out longer, and I'm glad Larry stayed the course, and we had it right now, because this was a momentous occasion. I think that we think about the struggles for people that Martin Luther King Jr., we focus mostly on his dream speech, but I like us to focus on his idea about revolution. Malcolm and Martin were moving closer together. And as we think about the struggles of Martin Luther King Jr., we think about how he pushed the envelope and he challenged us to think differently. He said we need a revolution of thought. And I think the young folks today showed us that we can have a revolution of thought and we can push the envelope. We've got to push the envelope and do and think differently. That's one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress, because we've got to think differently. Yes, for the 10th district right here. And so I'm running because we've got to know that if we're pushing for serious change, we can only do that if we're working together. And all the folks that are here today, that these are the kinds of things and ways that we've got to push that envelope. You cannot win the people without being with the people. This is about being with the people. We have to know that the people are the reason why you get in office. The people are the reason why we struggle. I'm a professor because we are with the people. You see, I'm helping to raise the next generation because we're not going to be here forever. We need to turn it over to the next generation who are going to run things and do things, but we've got to train them. We have to talk about succession planning. So Martin Luther King Jr. handed the baton over to Brother Larry, and he became the youngest person on the school board in the state of Jersey. And so now we have to think about who's the next generation and what are we doing to reach out to them. Let's work together, and we will work for equality,
We're going to work for transformation. We're going to work for making sure we get health care for all these things we have to push for, but we can't do it if we're not working hard together, because this is a struggle that's sustained. And the thing that we see that's sustained is People's Organization for Progress, that the POP has been sustained. So let us say, before we get out of here, that we are the change.
We are the change.
No, say we are the change.
We are the change.
There is no change without us. We are the change.
We are the change.
There you go. We are the change.
We are the change.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
All right. All the labor people. They gone? You only one left?
I'm the only one left.
CWA District 1
That's
endorsed.
right. Thank you. And I want to say that I know that our brothers from RWDSU 108, Charles Hall was here earlier. I know that our brother Ray Greaves from the Amalgamated Transit Union was here earlier.
Was he?
I know that, or his brother, I'm sorry. They look alike. I know that Carol Gay from the Industrial Union Council is here today. I know that the Working Families Party is here today. I know that New Labor is here today. So all kind of labor is here. Traditional labor, non-traditional labor organizations are all here. And I'm here to bring you greetings from the 70,000 members of CWA, Communication Works of America in New Jersey, and the 3,000 members that call Newark home. And I also called Newark home for many years, and I brought my son home from the hospital 19 years ago into Vailsburg, and for the first 3 years of his life, he suffered from severe asthma, from the same things that the sister was talking about before, about the pollution. And we knew it was why it was because of the pollution. And this is not just something that happened here in Newark, where communities of color get dumped on. Like I was saying the other day, I was born in Plainfield, New Jersey in 1974. From Plainfield. And in 1974, Plainfield was a place left behind by white flight. In 1974, the law said that if you were a white family and you lived in a city with black or brown family, you had to send your kids to the same schools. So I grew up in a town surrounded by a sea of boarded up houses where white families left instead of trying to stay in the same schools or be in the same place with us. And this was 20 years after Brown versus Board of Education, after the Supreme Court said that segregation was illegal. This was 6 years after the assassination of Dr. King. Now, I was privileged in a way to have people like Mr. Brinkley, who was up before, who made sure that we learned our history, that we learned about the Civil Rights Movement, that we learned about Dr. King, that we had assemblies in our schools in Plainfield where we saw Eyes on the Prize and we learned about the movement. And I thought growing up that we had won because all these people had fought. But as I got older, I started seeing that we were moving backwards, that things were getting worse. When I was really young, we still had a mix of kids in our schools. By the time I was 10, it was just black and brown. And we had nothing left. Our textbooks in 1984 still said that Richard Nixon was president. And our schools were falling apart. And we were not making it, and we were being blamed. We were being blamed because they said if you're black or brown, and let me tell you something, I'm the fourth son of immigrants, Afro-Latino immigrants from Dominican Republic. Okay? So when I put on the census and they ask me what I am, I'm black. Okay? Because my ancestors came over on the same ships as everybody, as your ancestors. And it wasn't a cruise ship.
No, it wasn't.
Okay? And so when in 1995, when the president of Rutgers University said that black students were genetically inferior, he was talking about me as well. So we protested. We shut down Route 18 in New Brunswick. We shut down the Yukon game. We shut down things. Like you said, shut it down. Shut it down. And so we got to keep fighting because it's getting worse. People have not evolved and started coming to their senses. So if we don't fight, it won't get better. So that's why it's so important that all of y'all came out today and that we continue to come out every day and continue to fight in our everyday lives. Because things are not going to get better unless we stand up and fight back. So I thank Larry Ham for every day being out here fighting the good fight, making the good trouble, and teaching people like me how to do it. Larry, and I want to be like you when I grow up, Larry Ham. And so I say this for all the labor. We thank you for keeping the torch lit, and we thank you for all you've done, and we thank all of y'all that came out today to continue the fight, because the struggle continues. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Pass it to labor. You the only labor left?
I think so. Carol Gay from the IUC, the Industrial Union Council. Power to the people. You know, I know you all remember the legacy of Martin Luther King, how he fought for voting rights, civil rights, and all those contributions. He also started the Poor People's Campaign. And the Poor People's Campaign was started to defeat racism, poverty, and militarism. And I'm sure you also remember he died just after the speech, a year after the speech at Riverside Church, where he spoke out against the war machine. And one of the things he said was, a nation that year after year continues to spend more on military than on social needs is approaching spiritual death. And that's about where we are today, spiritual death in this country, because we're not addressing the social needs and the human needs, because so much of our money is going to the war machine. This march today is also about peace. And I just want to remind people that U.S. oligarchs are not paying taxes. Half the corporations are not paying taxes. I'm probably exaggerated, maybe not half. But while the oligarchs and the corporations don't pay taxes, that puts more burden on us and not more burden on us. But it also means we can't meet the human needs. We can't get Medicare for all. Reparations, how are we going to get that if half of our money is going to the war machine? So let's remember that. And the U.S., one quick fact, the U.S. spends more money on the military than the next 11 countries combined. We spend more than that. So our money's going up in smoke instead of meeting the social needs right here. And anyway, I just want to say the U.S. has got to stop supporting the war machine. Human needs, not corporate greed. 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 Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Larry Adams, tell brother that truck is beautiful, man. He told him. Dr. Kelly Harris, Seton Hall University, give him a big hand.
Visitors, come on up, y'all. We have a couple students too with me from Seton Hall. All right, listen. We have to remember these moments because they're very historic. Earlier, Reverend Daughtry was here, 91 years old. He was at the Riverside speech, April 4th, 1967, where Dr. King said, the greatest purveyor of violence in the world is my own country. They marked him for death. He comes to Newark in March 1968. Mama Amina Baraka was here. Nana Amiri Baraka. He went to their home. He met with them. He talked to them about working on a Poor People's Campaign. He talked to them about the need to develop political power. From that, the organizing from that, we get the Gary Convention in 1972. So we got to understand these historical moments while we have these historical moments. So that's all I wanted to say, because this is getting late. I don't want to take too long. If the students want to say anything, this is Jared Lomax, head of the Black Caucus at Seton Hall University, and Fatima Touré, head of a whole lot of organizations at Seton Hall University.
I'll speak real quick on behalf of the Black Caucus at Seton Hall University. Look, we're all ready to learn from leaders such as Larry Ham right here. We didn't call him a couple times because I've talked to you about, remember the voter registration we're doing on campus? We're about to start a movement on campus. We're going to keep it alive, we're going to keep it proud, and make sure that we get our young people on campus to vote. We also would like to invite you and your organization out, People Organization for Progress, to come speak to us, just so they can stress the importance of voting, because as we all know, within the Black community, especially amongst our young students, where we at in terms of votes? We have important votes coming up, and people aren't out there. People aren't educated. They're not prepared. We need to get this straight. And I'm here on campus. The team is here. We're all in support of it, and we're ready to learn from you all how we continue to push this mission.
I will be at Seton Hall April 29th.
April 29th.
But if you want me to come before that, just call.
I got your number for that. Thanks very much for letting us speak today.
Hello, everyone. I first want to just say I'm really honored to be here and be a part of making history. However, I will say it's unfortunate that a lot of the stuff that we heard today and that we're marching for are the same things that Dr. King was marching for. So like it's been said today, we definitely do need to keep working towards change, and we're not going to stop. I'm so happy to be here because it's a multi-generational thing, and we are ready to take the baton and keep running, because it's not going to stop with us, and we're ready to teach the ones behind us, because it's not going to stop with them either, and we're just going to keep going because the fight don't stop. Power to the people.
Tamika Darden. Wait, give her a hand, Tamika. She got 5 groups to endorse, and that's not an exaggeration.
Not at all. I am out here on behalf of my own, the Gregory Thomas Foundation, the Newark Circle of Sisters, IYO International Youth Organization, and I'm out here for the residents in the cities of Newark and New Jersey. I asked Mr. Ham if I could just take us back in history, since we have been going through history, just with a song, because we still trying to overcome. I am beyond honored to call Mother Amina Baraka another mother to me. I am honored to have been able to walk from Lincoln Monument down Market Street, down Broad Street with Mama Amina Baraka and Miss Africa. Did y'all see Miss Pam Africa? Yeah. These are our ancestors. I am so honored to be here with Mr. Larry Ham. Give it up for my brother. We giving you your flowers while you can still smell them, okay? Because I don't want nobody coming up when you're going and close your eyes like, oh, he was a good guy. No, you are a great man, and you need to know that now while you can still hear it from us. We appreciate you. All of this is because of his efforts, his tireless nights, his not sleeping days. This man don't sleep, really, to get all of y'all out here. We have people come from all over the world to come and support you. So I am honored to stand here with my elders, with the youth in the middle, to continue to say, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Sit all deep in my heart. I do believe that we shall overcome someday. Woo! We the ones we waiting for. Keep fighting.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then Austin, and then Stacey Gregg.
What she
say? Wait a minute.
No voting rights, no democracy. No voting rights, no democracy. No voting rights. This country cannot claim, does not have the moral ground to claim to be a democracy as long as the descendants of those who fought, died, bled, built the very foundation of this country has the right to vote. Their voting rights are not restricted in any sort of way. I hail from Covington, Georgia, Nan chapter, where the president is Archie Shepherd, longtime activist in Covington, Georgia. Now, even though I hail from Covington, Georgia, and understand, we're working hard, and I'll tell you more about that, because you know what we're going through down there in terms of voting rights. And so right now, we're building up a voting right registration where we have to make sure, number one, that they're registered to vote. So they can come over to the computer, we can look it up, see that they're registered to vote, and then we can make sure that they know where to vote, because you know they changed the locations of the voting areas. So after somebody comes in and stands in line for hours or whatever to vote, and then find out, oh, you're in the wrong polling place. They've closed a number of polling places. We have a big fight down there. And I'm here to remind you that this is not just a local fight. As you know, this is national. So I want to remind you that this is a national fight. So though I hail from Covington, Georgia, I will always be a POP member, because I have been a POP member forever. I am a forever member of POP, Newark native, okay? I just had to move to another location for a while, and I had to plug into another organization that was doing some of the same things that POP is doing, okay? And we're trying to catch up, Brother Ham, to the strength and the fortitude and everything that you have shown and demonstrated over the years in the people of POP. So again, keep fighting, because you're not just fighting for one, we're fighting for all across the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Stacy, did you want to speak? Stacy? Okay. Now, National Organization of Women.
I'm going to be really fast. So, I was the Action VP for the National Organization for Women on the state level for about 3 years, and I lost my husband in 2008, and I kind of took a back seat, and I've just gotten active in the last 2 years. But I've always come out whenever Larry's needed me as an individual. The signs are well recognized nationwide. As an individual, not speaking for now, I would march. The first time I got arrested for civil disobedience was with the People's Campaign, and it's an incredible experience if you can join up and do civil disobedience. If we're taking it to the streets, it's scary, it's intimidating, but we're grateful to have amazing organizations and people who will back you up and will take care of you and stay with you until you get out. And of being taken in. A lot of times you're just given a ticket. Larry, I've known you for a really long time. I took his picture before we had cell phones coming out at a Victory in Maplewood. It was in Maplewood. It was a long time ago. I bought these signs way back when we had the tree, the tree that nobody could eat at lunch at in another state, and the whole country was protesting. And we protested in Newark, and I think I bought about 50 or 60 of these Stop Racism Now signs. I'm here statewide. Even though in Morris County, I will show up. I have these signs. If I get help from somebody and you greet me there, I will travel. New Jersey's not that big a state. I'll go down to Atlantic City. I'll go wherever you want me. I will bring the signs. I'll support you. And anything to do with racism is part of the National Organizations for Women's 6 main topics. So thank you for having me here. And please, I'll give you my phone number. For those who want it, just come over and get it. I'll give it on the tape here, but I don't mind. 973-62. Nope, that's my home line number. It's dead. Don't give my cell? Oh, my cell's fine. 973-477-7574. And I'll, just text me and let me know where. It's okay live. I do not care, because if you look me up in Morris County, I have nothing to hide. They know where I am, and they're going to come get me. They know where to get me. I'm not afraid.
Thank you, Stacy. Is Matt here? Matt Smith? Matt? He left? Oh. Wasim Kanan and Ifsa. Christian spoke. Al spoke. Annette spoke. Matt spoke. Christian Escobar spoke. Paula. Is Paula here? Reverend Odekoya spoke. Tova. You want to speak? Tova? Okay. Walter Keaty, Democratic Socialist. Cookie spoke. Roger spoke. Dr. Battle. And then Zaid, and I think we're done. Dr. Angela Battle, give her a hand. And then, I'm sorry, we are not done until we hear from Bill Payne.
Good evening. I won't be long. I'm Reverend Dr. Angela Battle. I'm pastor of St. Paul AME Church in Kenilworth, and I'm also the president of the National Council of Negro Women in Mercer County section. I'm here today just to tell you about voting, and we done already heard it, but sometimes we just need to be reminded. We're more than statistics. We're more than demographics. We are human beings, and our vote matter and our vote count, and we're here to make a difference. Sometimes people don't realize how important their vote is. Your vote votes for the county sheriff. Your vote votes for the district attorney's office. Your vote, you can vote people in, vote people out. Your vote makes a difference when you can build on your own agenda. A lot of times we think that our vote don't matter, and it's not just one person vote. We need more people to come out and to vote together. I just want to say that the other important thing about voting is that you can write your own legislation. There's a process, and you can submit it in. I'm a witness. I wrote legislation. I turned it in down to Congress. He read it. He followed up on it. It's a good idea. He decided to do an investigation behind it. It was about the illegal use of Homeland Security that New Jersey Transit Police was using. And so now they're doing an investigation, and they're going to release the study. So what I'm saying is your vote is important. Don't think that it doesn't matter. The reason that they're trying to stop and suppress the vote is because it's really that important. And the other thing is, don't try to get out of jury duty because of voting. We need to have people that look like you and me when they bring us into court, so that we get to, because if you think about it, a lot of times they make up their minds already before you even get there. The prosecutor that you didn't vote for, that if you did vote, he already done decided what the case is going to be. And they always want you to plead guilty and to take a deal. And so that's why it's important for us to vote. And so the other thing I want to say, and then I'm done, is go public. They bank on us not speaking up, not speaking out. They bank on us not saying anything. They bank on us being quiet. They bank on us not being able to tell the truth. Stand up and fight. They can't do nothing. They're shooting us down in the street anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't have anything to lose. I'm going to speak truth to power. I'm going to speak up. I'm going public. I'm going public. I'm going public. Go public with the vote. Tell everybody to vote, because your vote matters, your vote counts. You're a human being.
Thank you. Did Dr. Arati Krybak leave? Oh my goodness. How did I not call her? Saeed Muhammad, where are you? Get Mr. Payne?
Yeah.
Mr. Payne it is.
Thank you, Larry. Thanks for recognizing me. I didn't want to steal the show. I'm not running for anything. I'm not here because I'm trying to get any votes or anything like that, okay? I'm here because I believe in what Pop has been doing all these years, and you know, I do come here. I'm at these programs. I don't come here because I'm running for any kind of office or anything like that. But the thing I do want to say is that the most important thing, and I want to thank that last speaker because she is so right. The vote is the most important thing that we have. And every time I hear somebody say, oh, tomorrow's election, I ain't gonna vote. It's the most stupid thing that we can possibly do. The most important dinner meeting that a family has is a night in the suburbia when the family's around the table and they tell everybody, those young people that are sitting around the table, now you know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow is a very important day. Make sure that you vote. But unfortunately, in so many other communities, we have people that say, I ain't gonna vote. Shoot, they don't do nothing anyhow. They don't do nothing for me. And then, want to know something? That's exactly what they want you to do, is say, I ain't gonna vote because they ain't gonna do nothing for me. They never will. The thing about it is people have died. Let me tell you, in 1956, I was at a convention in San Francisco, NAACP convention. I was the national chairman of the youth and college chapters, and I was at that convention, and you want to know who was there? I met at that convention, I met a man by the name of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. If you look up the history, you'll find that he was 29 years old, I believe, and they had just started the bus boycott earlier in that year. Dr. King was invited to come to speak at that convention, which was the NAACP convention. But the old heads there, he was only 29 years old. The old people there say, he ain't coming to our convention. We're not gonna let him speak here. Oh no, he's not gonna come here. And the people that wouldn't want him to do it, well, what happened? I had been elected the national chairman of the youth and college chapters of the NAACP at the convention that was in Atlantic City the year before that. I was the national chairman of all the youth in the NAACP. And when I heard that Roy Wilkins and the rest of those guys did not want this young preacher to come to our place, this is our convention, not his. Then I heard about that. I called all of the 100 or so young people who were at that convention, which was in the Civic Auditorium in San Francisco. And I told them that these old heads won't want to let this young preacher preach here. And we're going to make sure that he does. So we had a meeting with Roy Wilkins and with Thurgood Marshall and others who were saying, no, he ain't going to, this is our convention. Before we finished with them, they invited Dr. King to give the speech. And I was able to give introduce Dr. King to the convention. That's the first time he had an opportunity to speak to the NAACP. And so the thing about it is that we have to stand up for right. And that's what we're doing about it. NAACP has been out there for all these years. Yes. I was very fortunate. I mentioned Dr. King because that's the first time that I met him. I met him at that convention. And A. Philip Randolph was the other speaker there. I had the opportunity to introduce him as well. So through the years, I've been active and involved with the NAACP. And I say this to you, that one of the most important things that we have to know is let our people, young people and old people too, that the vote is the most important thing that we have. People died, Medgar Evers was at there. You ever hear Medgar Evers? Medgar Evers was at that convention that day, as a matter of fact. And Medgar Evers was from Mississippi, as you know. And Medgar Evers, we had a conversation that the word had come out from Mississippi that Medgar Evers was going to be killed when he came back home. So we met with Medgar that day. We met with him and said, Medgar, we hear that they're going to try to kill you when you go back to Mississippi. And he said, Bill, have you ever been to Mississippi? I said, no. He said, it's a beautiful state. I'm going back to make it better for my children. It's a beautiful weeping willow trees. I had a conversation with him. And he did go back, and 2 years later, they did kill him. So I say to myself, how on earth could I stand on the sidelines when I knew people who gave their lives for that? Dr. King was here, as a matter of fact. He was when he was at Abyssinia Baptist Church about a week before he was killed. And I was there outside that church when he pulled up there. Dr. King was there, and he talked about how tired he was because if you were around, he spoke at Southside that morning, and he went to about 3 or 4 other places. And when I came up there, I was late. I double parked my car, and the car pulled up, and who was it? It was Dr. King being driven by one of the Newark policemen. And he got out of the car, and I said, Dr. King. He said, yes, Bill. He said, Bill, I'm so tired. I've been to more places in New Jersey today, and I'm exhausted. They want me to go to one more stop, which is at Harry Belafonte's in New York. He's doing a fundraiser. He said, Bill, I'm too tired. I can't make it over here. So he went and made his speech. He came out. He said, why don't you ride over there with me? I had double parked. I said, I got to move my car, Dr. King. I'll get a ticket. So he waved goodbye to me. The last time I saw Dr. King, he waved me out of the back windows. Bye-bye. And I waved, bye. See you next time, Dr. King. The next time I saw him, I was at the funeral. Yes, I went to the funeral. Dr. King gave his life for this. And every time I hear somebody say, well, I'm not going to vote until I think of people that I knew personally that gave their lives for this. The important thing is so for nothing more important than that. This building here now is named after Dr. King. The next one they build, we want to make sure it's not only named after him, but being built by blacks too. We get the opportunity to build the place as well. But when you get a chance, go in there and see the wonderful thing in there. And when you see those photos, it's made by a black young lady, a black professional who designed all that there. A black young lady did it, so it's worthy of coming in there. But Dr. King, that's why I do this, because with people I know who gave their lives. And I want to thank all of you. Larry Ham, I've got a great deal. Larry Ham, got great deals here. Unbelievable, this young fella, I'm telling you. And I'm glad that this young fella, yes, this young fella, Larry Ham. But I want to thank, listen, I want to thank everybody for all that you have done. You weren't doing the Lord's work. And then thank you. Thank you very much for waiting for me. I'm sorry I kept you so late. I'm sorry I made you wait so late to hear my speech. But I hope anyway. Thank you very, very much. But keep doing it up. I'll be here. And the other people that we help elect, we like to see them at these things too.
Yes,
okay. Thank you very much.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
That's a man who met Dr. King, worked with Dr. King. Zaid Muhammad. He went home, all right. And then we're going to hear from Reverend Simmons going to call us out with, what is it, how you say, close us out.
Close us out.
With a prayer.
Benediction.
First, I want to thank all of y'all who stood out here all this damn time. Y'all the long distance runners. But I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of. It reminds me of the funeral. Well, let me say why. I can remember watching the funeral back in 1968 on television, and it was a long, and he said he didn't want a long funeral. Didn't he say that? But of course he got one, right? And that procession, it took that slow, long procession, mule driven, right? Okay? All the way through Atlanta to what is now his resting place. They didn't get there until it was like this, right? Let me just say for the benefit of those of you who are here, and then we'll let Pastor shut this down, right? Those of us, and there are only a few of us here in the circle, who can remember who this great man was while he was still here, and what happened on that day, and what that day did to us. There's this new language in sociological circles called being trauma-informed, right? The assassination of Dr. King traumatized our people like nothing we had seen during that time, right? And the trauma, the reaction to the trauma wasn't one of being overwhelmed. It was one that you better be careful about. You keep messing with people. This country went up in smoke. Went up in smoke. At his point of death, Dr. King was treated as the most serious threat to the internal security of the United States. And upon his death, all those young folks who lost it on the matter of nonviolence because of what they did to him, we had our largest growth spurt in the Black Panther Party. And what happened to the Black Panther Party? They became the number one threat to the internal security of the United States. And we're still trying to get folks out of prison from those days, right? And that's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. But as someone just old enough to remember, I understand what that means in terms of what's left of my generation that has to pass on to the generations behind us. They did not have the benefit of a Dr. King for a moment. And even though some of us are, on the back end of the baby boomers, that's what we is, right? Right? We had it for a few moments, but at least we had him. We had him. We saw black dignity on the stage of history at its most shining best, under fire, fire that some of you just cannot imagine. And just like we were at the crossroads for the direction of this country back then, we are there again. And I'm saying to all our babies, our children and our grandchildren, y'all have not seen what we came out of. The sacrifices were great. They were long, a lot of blood, a lot of lives lost, a lot of struggle, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of fighting too. I hate to say this. So what I'm saying is we absolutely have a responsibility not just to share with them our memories. This ain't no walk down sentimental lane. They have to be trained. You talk about tell them how to shut it, don't tell them to shut them down. Show them how to shut it down. Right? You wanted to talk about the upsurge in racial violence acts? Huh? If the police do not protect you, this is the Malcolm side of me and the Panther side coming out of me now. You have the right to defend yourself. Yes. Right? All of that requires training and study. Right? I had our dear friend, Reverend Howard, on the show, and we had a ball. Right? Oh, we had a ball. Reverend Howard, just left us. Y'all know Reverend Howard from Bethany Baptist Church, Americus, Georgia, 1961, a teenager in battle. From then on, a part of this. That's who that pastor was that you had in North. You had a proven soldier, nonviolent direct action right here. And he did not have to be told to leave his post. A beacon of dignity that he is inheriting the tradition that he is clear that he stands on. He said it's simply time for me to go so others can move up. We have to learn how to do that too, y'all. Right? Now, if we had a big crowd here, I was hoping we could talk to the big crowd because we had all these family members, police brutality. We have a statewide coalition against police brutality. And those of you who are not in it should be, right? Because we really want to turn it up on these clowns in Trenton. And they're not Trumpites. I'm talking about Phil. I'm talking about the new guy, Scutari. You heard my daughter from ICC talk about Teresa Ruiz, right? And it ain't just about kissing the county's ring. It's about what you're going to do for the people, right? We got to deal with that chump Coughlin. You paid him a visit. He's still talking like he's above being spoken to about the police. We're going to pay your ass a visit, Chris. We're going to pay your ass a visit, right? So we need everybody who's not in this coalition yet to get with it, right? Because we're not doing this. This is not an exercise in sentimentality. We're fighting to win. We ain't saying stop police brutality. We want to make it stop. We ain't saying we're trying to change. We don't want to change police culture. We want to make it change. Are we the people? Yes. And the people are supposed to be the democracy. We got to show people what democracy looks like. Right? I'm loving my daughter from Surge. We definitely need y'all up in this piece. Right? We need that multiracial, multi-generational coalition building that both Dr. King was doing and that the Black Panther Party was doing. I want y'all to hear me good. That both what Dr. King was doing and what the Black Panther Party was also doing. Right? It ain't just some of the people. We want all power to the people. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? Right? So, come on, shut this down, son, with some good Reverend Nat Turner style to Martin Luther King style preaching, right? So we can take this home right for all these folks that stayed this long time.
What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? When do we want it? When do we want it? This is what democracy looks like. 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 Come on, give everybody a big hand for being out here tonight. Come on, give all of our organizers a big hand. Let's give Brother Larry Ham a big hand. We really enjoyed all the speakers that came tonight. And my purpose for coming tonight is to not only represent People's Organization for Progress, but also represent Beth L. College School of Social Justice, Public Policy, and Civic Engagement. But I'm here to say we cannot grow weary with the struggle and the fight. At no cost can we grow weary, can we wait, can we even pause when we don't see the action that we want to see happen as fast as we want to see it. We've got to be about the business of staying out in these streets. We've got to be out in the business of continuing to organize. Power comes in two forms. It comes in the form of organized money, in the form of organized people. And we've got to continue to organize so that whatever we want to happen, we make those things happen. I call your attention.
Let me just interrupt for a second. This Jamie Bland from Jumpstart, she got to say a word because she's been one of our strongest supporters.
Well, I just want to say that you guys over here in Newark, I'm in Paterson, New Jersey, and I'm also a chapter leader under the National Action Network. But the respect that the National Action Network, Jumpstart, and we all have for Brother Lawrence Hand, it just is, he's just an amazing man. And so I appreciate his leadership. I'm also a part of POP. Whatever you guys need, wherever, I'm here. This is my brother, and I always call him to come speak or whatever I need. You know, I know that he's there, and this is for years. So I know I was a little bit late, but I've been in the trenches, and, you know, I'm here. And I wouldn't miss anything that he does. Y'all keep on keeping on. And the importance of voting is that if you don't vote, if you don't vote, you get what you get. So don't talk about it when it's, oh yeah, you know, well, we shouldn't, this should be like this. No, you are the change. So everybody should know you have to encourage other people to get out and vote and make a difference. And even if you have to tell them who to vote for, encourage them, let them know everything is political. Those food stamps we grew up on, political. So housing, the affordable housing, political. So let them know the things that they're using and every single day in their lives is all political. Okay, so anyway, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm done. I just want to say God bless Lawrence Ham and the rest of this team out here. I love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. I'm sorry, Reverend.
No problem. Let's give her a big hand. The struggle continues. Our early civil rights leaders, our attorneys back in the 1930s and 40s, when they would come to defend their cases, civil rights cases, our black attorneys, they would come before the judge, and the judge would turn around in his chair so they wouldn't have to look into the face of black people arguing their case. Now, if those individuals, those attorneys, would have become discouraged in their fight, we would have never made it to the 1964 Civil Rights Act. We would have never made it to the 1965 Voters' Rights Act. We would have never made it to the 1967 Fair Housing Act. We would have never even made it to where we are now, where we just passed legislation for anti-lynching laws. And so we have to continue to fight like our lives depend on it, because our lives really do depend on everything we're doing right now. And so as we close this down, we're closing this down recognizing that if we call an Occupy, we got to show up. Can I get a witness? We have got to show up. And we've got to show up like our lives depend on it, because right now, it's by any means necessary.
It is by any means necessary, and I'm here to fight no matter where I am, in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, it does not matter. And we have champions that are fighting this fight. So as we close, let us bow our heads in the word of prayer. Eternal God, our Father, Lord, we give you glory and honor. Lord, we thank you for these, your people. God, as we get ready to leave this place, we ask that you go before us and be with us. Continue to motivate and give us the impetus to continue to fight like you've given us the power to fight for justice, for equality, and for the welfare of every person that are here. We give you glory and honor. We give you gracious praise. In your name we pray. Let everybody say amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I just want to give recognition to my Vice Chairwoman, Ingrid Hill, and to my Vice Chairman, Larry Adams, and to all the members of the People's Organization for Progress. I got all this praise today, but none of this could happen through one person's efforts. What happened today, on the one hand, was the collective effort of POP, but on the other hand was the collective effort of the 139 organizations that endorsed this action today. And so thank you, everybody. I'm not going to make another speech, even though I want to. I'm not. Thank you for coming out. Safe travels. We're going to break stuff down. We're going to go home, but keep in mind what we said. We're going to do an Occupy. I think we need to occupy right here by Dr. King when the weather gets a little warmer.
Let's do it.
You know? I was going to do it tonight, but the membership said no. And I am a disciplined member of the People's Organization for Progress. Sometimes. So, I want to thank Jeff Carter. I didn't get the chance, Holly. I want to thank Jeff Carter of the Bergen County branch, Bergen County branch NAACP, for calling the press conference in Hackensack. A lot of work went into it. I thank you, and I thank all of our NAACP partners. Let me tell you something. Here comes the speech. As I grow older, you know, I used to be one of them people that said that the NAACP didn't do enough. Wasn't militant enough. I don't feel that way now. The NAACP has its role, and POP has its role. And the best outcome is when POP and NAACP work together. I'm telling you, everybody can't be in the same organization. Just like everybody can't go to the same church or be in the same religion. You got to understand that the world is diverse. The world is not like you. All of us, we get personally centric, right? And we think everybody got to be like us. No, everybody is not like you. It's a very diverse world. And the secret of building a movement is to get diverse people to work together. That's the real secret of building a movement, to get different people to work together toward a common cause. I was one of these people that said, oh, the church ain't doing this, and the church ain't. Let me tell you, do you know how much worse it would be if there wasn't a church on every corner? You know, a lot of y'all talk about the church, but you don't feed nobody. The church be feeding people. The church be finding places for people to live. The church help people to find jobs. The church be giving money to people's kids to go to college. We talk all this talk about what the church don't do. The church is not a political party. It is not the role of the church to be that's our job. That's our job. Political activists. That's our job to build political party, political movement. The church has its role. And let me tell you, there would have been a civil rights movement if some of the churches hadn't helped. All of them did not help Dr. King, but some of them did. And some of them paid a price. Do you know how many churches got burned down? How many churches got bombed? They bombed so much in Birmingham that they used to call Birmingham Bombingham. Really? It's not made. They used to call Birmingham Bombingham. That's how many. Y'all only know about 16th Street Baptist Church. That wasn't the only church that was bombed. People don't even think they think about Dr. King being killed. Do you know how many people were killed during the civil rights movement? Scores of people. Several hundred people. When they went to drag the river to get Emmett Till's body, they found other people's bodies. So when we remember Dr. King, we not only remember him, but we remember all the people that laid down their lives. I'm going to tell you something else. I know some people not going to like it. Some of the people was white. Some people was white, did not grow up in black communities, came out of all white communities, all white colleges, but they heard Dr. King, they heard Medgar Evers, they heard other people give the call, and they answered the call. And they went down there in them dark-ass roads. Y'all don't know what darkness is. You got to go somewhere where they don't have street lights, so you can really see what darkness is. I saw it in 1987 when I went to the Black Belt in Alabama. It was so dark, the bus I was on to bring us to the church almost hit the church. And that's how dark it was. But people went down there, young black people, young white people from colleges came to the South and walked the roads. There wasn't no buses. There wasn't no mass transportation. And the houses not close like up here. Them houses, I was like, they walked in the dark down here. And a lot of them got killed. So remember that. It's important you got to remember the whole of history. Not just, history is, you can't look at history like some people look at the Bible. They only like the Bible, the parts they like. You know what I'm saying? And then people like history the same way. They only like the stuff in history that they like. But as Hegel said, the truth is the whole. The truth is the whole, not the part. But I thank you all for coming out tonight. I was at 4 o'clock. I wasn't too happy, but by 5:30 I was real happy. Do you know how powerful that march looked when y'all was coming out of the court, going down march? That thing looked powerful. It felt. I forgot what day of the week it was, Donald Payne. I forgot it was Monday. I was so happy. I forgot what day it was. I'm always happy when I see our people come together in unity. So thank you. Good night. Power to the people. Safe travel. Oh, and the people that owe money, well, they don't owe money, but the people who said they was going to make donations to help pay for the Facebook ads, please give us your money if you didn't give your money already, so we can get that paid for, because that probably helped bring some of the people out today. Power to the people. Good night, good night. Safe travels. Thank you, Bill Payne, for being our live connection to history. He met them all. You think I'm joking? He met Malcolm X, Dr. King, Medgar Evers, all of them. And he didn't just meet them. He brought them to Rutgers to speak. Can you imagine what it was like in 1960 to try to bring Malcolm X to your college to speak? All right. Good night, everybody. Go home. Pick up your stuff. If you left stuff, don't leave stuff. I still got somebody's credit card. Josiah Mason.
No, it's not mine.
It's not. You put your hand out. I thought it was yours. But I know your name ain't Josiah. You got it wrong. You gonna break it. No. You got it wrong. Now watch. There we go. See, Steve taught me. Steve, I didn't know how to do it either. Steve taught me, yes. How you doing, Ukraine?
I live in the town.
Anti-violence?
I live in the town that Roche is living in. The center doesn't want to enter a protest group. They have silenced them and told them to call the police. I have no police record.
Got it? Thank you.
I have 200
Love you too. Thank you for staying. You stayed to the end.
Of course, man, of course.
Great.
Listen, I've been coming to protest especially since I'll show you what happened to me in my first ever protest.
my goodness.
Y'all want video put
What protest
together?
was this?
You want video put together?
It was May 29th,
I can't,
2020, the
it's still
start of the
loading.
whole
Want a
like
video?
protest.
It goes on. I put it on Mr. Ham's page.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
And that's it.
Y'all right, yes, yes, yes.
Terrorists under their lives and died. Humanitarian mission. And I do have people that when you don't go out and do that, you call that a lie. Women call that a lie. You're going to be dealt with. And flatline walk, flatline takes up to the field. This is not a war. Someone listening, not all. You gotta look like a hero for someone to thank you for listening. Thank you so much, Mr. Payne. I appreciate you so much, sir. Larry and Methuen.
Yeah, we just got this dog, and I'm like, you put the dog at rest. I'm like,
We already
Good?
Yep.
See, you felt good coming out, right?
Yeah, I came out, because I had to take some papers, but I hadn't expected to be out here at the rally. I just happened to see it as I was coming, and I seen, what's this going on? So I said, I gotta get some stuff for the camera. I didn't have everything. I needed my tripod. I didn't have.
So I'm gonna call you later because I'm catching a ride with somebody. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next.
Okay. All right.